Hey, look at this change of wardrobe here. I got the shirt that Carl Choi gave me. It's pretty awesome. I wore it around the house the other day, and I decided I had to wear it for a stream. Didn't want to have it on the first one, but of course, as everybody was commenting, I saw Alberto. What did he say? Out of the entire cover, I had to focus on the Cyclops. Of course, who else would I focus in on? I mean, right? Come on, look at right there. There he is. So yeah, I am wearing the shirt, and this is the shirt that everybody in the chat that night helped me get, because remember, you had to buy every single piece of art that Carl had that night, and you did. So I got the shirt. It was either coming to me or Carl was going to return it because it still had the tags on it. All hail Cyclops! You got that right, Seamus. But it's a wonderful evening here. We just had a good show with Dino and Dan, and of course we probably could have talked for a lot longer. It would have been a lot of fun. I can see that was a fun format. We definitely need to do it again in November. I forget it. I think the third week in November is the next signature auction, so it'll probably be around the week of Thanksgiving, I guess. But we'll figure that out. We got some time. But Jason has promised that he will sit there and try to figure out how to spend $250,000. So we're going to see, does he go for the cheap stuff? Is everything between $2,000 and $5,000? Or does he go for like, $50,000 pieces? I have no idea. But I'm going to play the game too next time. I promise. I will make the time to do it. So yes, so welcome to the show. It's funny, even we did the show on Wednesday with Anthony and Sharon, and I know everybody was like saying that it was a grind. It was a grind. You see shows like that where you go through 60 pieces and you only sell a couple, and you think, boy, this show is this one's a clunker, because they all can't be great. But it was funny, by the time that show was over, and in that little bit of recap, and the time that Anthony opened up that portfolio and started showing off other art, he ended up selling over $30,000 in artwork. I know everybody thought he broke 15, maybe 20. Once we added it all up after the show was over, he did like 32 or something like that. So it just goes to show you got to persevere sometimes. I don't know what it is about Anthony. When he gets that salesman's cap on at the end of things, magic happens. Got me, man. I don't know how he does it, but he does. Black Viper Adorn says that we will see Jason buying every Cassara. That's true. I put my man, never has anyone in this hobby had their fashion sensibilities discussed more than me, but I do appreciate it. I don't do anything, man. Just push it back. I don't blow dry my hair. I do nothing. It just happens this way, for God's sakes, everybody. So where am I at today? Today it's probably going to be a short show, and I actually believe it's going to be a short show. We don't really have we did a big OAX show last week. We're going to have big OAX shows going for weeks on end. We definitely have some guests that'll be coming on in the next week or two, and probably multiple guests when we're going to be announcing some pre-cons and other things. So we have we got a lot of stuff going on, but tonight it's kind of light. What brand? I have absolutely no idea. Number one Marvel fan. I took the tag off of it when I got it because it was still there. But I'll be happy to let you know after the show. So did I get one of those Pokemon pages? I did. And so for those of you watching, yeah, that was odd, wasn't it? Because Anthony didn't have a price for him. He didn't know anything about him, but he knows that my whole family, except for me, plays Pokemon, and the pages didn't look right. They weren't Team Rockets. They didn't have an R on their shirt. They had a G, which I had never heard of, but I'm not that big into Pokemon. But it wasn't like I could ask Maureen or the kids. So actually, I wrote down all the names of the people who wanted pages, because I was like, if I do show this to Maureen and she doesn't want one, either of them, we'll definitely go through the list, because I remember Corey wanted a page. Then I think Matt Tutulio, Robert wanted a page. A lot of people were interested in them. So the thing was, after the show, we started digging around, and they were not Pokemon pages. Actually, they were Pokemon. So it was a Dan Day book, and it was from an Elvira book. So this was kind of a spoof on Pokemon. Well done. I mean, clearly, it was everything was there. It was funny. It was almost purposely so close to being right that it was good. And so I did show him to Maureen in the morning and explain to her what they were. And so she actually liked the one that Anthony really didn't show to anybody. So she liked the one that didn't have the characters jumping out and all that other stuff. So so I told Anthony, yes, I'd like that one. And so I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to be emailing Corey first to let him know what Anthony wants for the other one. And then if he doesn't want it, I'll switch to Matt. And if he doesn't want it, then I'll let Anthony talk to Robert or whoever else was on that list, because, you know, it was funny. That was like the first thing that multiple people were interested in. It's the Pokemon stuff, of all things. Gotta spoof them all. You got that right. Like what the, it was a little odd. But at any rate, it was, so yeah, so we did get one, and I paid Anthony for it this morning. So he's a happy man on his way to Baltimore. And I think it's actually in the mail. I got, like he said, anybody who paid him in that night would get their stuff shipped. So I got the usual USPS announcement email about an hour before the show started, letting me know. No, it was, well, how did they spell it? It was Pokey. It was like Holy Pokemon was the name of the story. And again, it was in an Elvira, a Claypool book. So, I mean, I don't know anything about that, but Dan Day did draw a lot of Elvira stories around 99 to 2003. So I got a little education there. He did several Elvira stories and that kind of thing, and they're not very expensive pages, obviously, but you know, hey, I can't afford the good Pokemon pages. Marcus. Will the OAX still have the free artist card sketches? That is the plan, Michael. Absolutely. We have, you know, while we haven't published everything related to the show, that was something that I think most people really enjoyed. A lot of the artists did. I mean, not all the artists participated in the free sketch event at OAX last year, but those that did enjoyed it. It was, you know, it was kind of special. I mean, I didn't get one, but you know, I walked around the room that whole time, and you know, a lot of the artists had lines, and everybody appreciated it. I saw a lot of sketches posted at CAF afterwards. So yes, there will be. You know, we're so early into some of the plans here, but absolutely, we will be providing something within the swag bag for you, and certainly if people want to bring some of their own things. But my feeling is that you know, we'll definitely make sure everybody's set up, because you know, we're trying to create keepsakes that have lasting. You know, that will live on past many of us as collectors, and OAX branded on a card or something is obviously, you know, wise and smart, and we want you to remember the show that same way when you get one of those. And you know, we really want the artists to be thinking about it while they're doing them too. So yeah, there will definitely be something, Michael. Let me think here. I'm trying to look at my list here. Yeah, again, it's a straightforward and kind of easy show tonight. One of the things that you know, I told you we weren't going to talk a lot about the app, and I'm really not. But one of the things that we were working on recently was this was replying to comments. As many of you know, that's a part of CAF, and it wasn't something that we initially built in our first pass or two at V1. And we felt that like replying to comments had to be a part of the overall app experience, right? We weren't going to not include it since it's part of the site. And when we decided to do that, we really wanted to nest the comments properly. So like if you reply to a comment, it's right next to the comment you're replying to, versus how it is on CAF, which if it's 2 or 3 days later on a popular piece, that reply is like 10 comments below it. So Maureen put some time in, and within a few minutes, she actually had it working where it would nest where it was supposed to. So we rolled that out on the site. I bet you nobody in this, you know, on CAF even noticed. But if you go to a piece, you know, I know Comic Art Boston is really good about replying to people who make comments on his artwork. If you go take a look at Comic Art Boston's CAF gallery and just pick any of the pieces, any of the recent ones, you'll see that his replies are underneath the comment he's replying to. Now, I haven't formatted it nice and indented it or whatever and make it look, you know, really pretty. But at the end of the day, the flow of a comment stream underneath a piece of artwork is going to make people happy, I think. Will it ever work on iOS 18? I just think it broke for you, Alberto. We put some, you know, like I've written special programming for Marcus, and his name is actually in some of the programming, believe it or not, Marcus. But yes, we did something extra special so that it would not run on iOS 18 if it was on Alberto's phone. So, you know, why why not? But yeah, they, there's things typically when apps are generated, they are specified for they're for iOS or for Android and versions. So Apple rolls out this newfangled version 18 that I can't even install on my phone because I don't have enough space on it. Clearly, there's something in there that's missing from the last build in there. But don't you worry, Alberto. I believe we will have a new version out tomorrow. I had the app developer actually upgrade himself to 18 on his phone, so I assume he sees a white screen when he goes to it too. And yeah, it hopefully if it's not tomorrow, maybe it'll be Saturday, maybe it'll be Monday. But yeah, we'll have a version that works on your spiffy version 18.0. So there you have it, running Linux. Anyway, but yeah, so we're close on all that, and it's exciting, and it still works on my phone. So there you have it. I know that Mikhail started out and has the same problem. Ryan Davidson reminds everybody that the Original Art Expo is in Orlando, Florida, January 24th to 26th, 2025. That is so true. We're what is it now? We're just over 4 months away. This time next week, we will be at 4 months. So app testing, yeah. Right now, it's closed, Brian. We'll we're so close at this point that and we definitely got the feedback we needed on the feedback we're looking for was what wasn't in the app that people wanted to see versus where we were at. So we kind of have all that figured out, and yeah, we're in a kind of good spot right there. Now we just want to knock out these couple small remaining tasks and get this darn thing out there and in your hands, because it's burning a hole in everybody's pocket. I mean, when Alberto's version 18 broke, I mean, I thought he was going to sob. He was like, no, I have to go back to using the website. So is OAX better than MegaCon? Well, is it for me to say? I don't think so, Alberto. I'll let the community speak for the app and the power of the app and its comparison to any show or situation out there. I don't know, but yeah, Marcus, that's true too. We will make sure that it is not compatible with photos of steaks. Yeah, we have at this time no aspirations of making it into a social app kind of thing where you can, whereas it is social, of course, but where, like maybe we would make a social stream for you to do when you're out at shows, like the Friday night event, the tomorrow night event that's happening in Baltimore. I mean, it's something we actually kind of kicked around. Maybe one day you could have something like that where it's not art. We don't want, things we don't want in your gallery, but, you're doing a get together, it's one of Larry's meetups, or it's something like we did in Columbus, or Benno having a get together. You can see there being a reason for keeping photographs out of people's galleries and giving people a means to kind of be social about the hobby. But, right now Facebook does a good enough job for that. I'd rather keep CAF focused on art and stay the course on there. Will there be pizza? Yeah, of course they will. Kelly, it wouldn't be OAX without pizza. But is there a CAF Discord? There is a CAF Discord, and I never have the link, but I know every time I say that and Mikhail's watching, he sends me the invite. I know that Chuck and several people are always in the Discord except for me. Yes, I know that, Marcus. I don't have the heart sometimes to say don't do that, but I should. So yes, there is a Discord, and I don't even know how to Google it, but I know that Chuck always has it. Mikhail's going to email me, I know it, but there is one, and I don't know how you search for it. I've literally tried to Google Comic Art Fans Discord, and it never brings up the link. You would think that it would just work, but I don't know how to make it work right. I should just link it on CAF, and then it would just be there. Oh, he's on strike. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, so there is one, Brian, and if I get my act together, I'll try to promote it in the next Thursday mailing that I kick out there for everybody. A dating section. CAF is kind of like a dating app, There's a lot of there's bromances blossoming all the time. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I'll make sure that works, Brian. 8 weeks to Comic Art Live. That's the really big news. You're right about that, Goo. I can tell everybody that that's probably weighing more on my, well, I got so many things weighing on me, but Comic Art Live is, I know that this weekend I'm going to update a few things with regards to Comic Art Live. I'm within your CAF admin where you can see like the fact that the other show ended 4 months ago. That's going to get updated this weekend. Counter's going to be put up there letting you know we've got, basically 60 days to Comic Art Live 10. So we're going to get that out there. Oh, Kazra's got the Discord. Thank you, Kazra. I knew somebody would have the link for it, and Kazra's a moderator, so he can do that. But yeah, I'm going to update the link in the admin so people can start seeing that it's coming, that we have 2 months leading out to Comic Art Live 10. And the thing to remember there is start setting some art aside. You got 8 weeks to start thinking about what you may want to sell, and it's no time like the present to start picking and setting aside some pieces for that show. It should be good. We should have a lot more. Well, I can't say a lot more. I hope we double or triple the number of people who are using the automated checkout. I'm going to promote that a bit more. I was planning on doing a mailing early in the week, not just to all members, but to premium members as well, letting them know, the time frame we're in is in that 2-month window of the next show. So just to get people thinking about it and getting ready for version 10. Mikhail, funny you should mention that. You're absolutely right. I think 4 people have not given me their free premium memberships yet, and I have to go back to my list, but I do know I have the list of people who haven't done it yet. So I completely agree. I don't know who Phoenix's Galactic Gallery is, but if they don't stop posting bangers like that, I mean, we're all going to feel embarrassed about our collections sooner rather than later. My goodness, I want to see big scans of the stuff that collector is posting. Yes, he can afford it. But he's new to CAF. He might not understand it. We know we don't do the best job of explaining why you should go premium. But boy, yeah, that if there was ever a CAF gallery that needed to be forced premium, it's that one. So yeah, I've been tempted just to do it because I have a feeling that somebody's not going to claim and give away their free premium membership. So we can get. No, we did a drawing one day, James. We gave away 10. Remember, we had an anonymous donor last year that gave away 10. Well, that same person donated 10. We had 10 people win, and they were all premium. Yeah, they were all premium members on CAF, and only 6 of those winners. And I told everybody, if you're a premium member, you have to give it away to somebody that isn't premium. So 6 of the 10 people gave me names to upgrade them. 4 people have not given me their the name. So yes, there you have that. James, the anonymous donor wasn't James. No, it wasn't James. It's actually somebody that I can tell you this. No, I won't tell you that. Okay, no, the anonymous donor actually was at my get together in February of 2023 here at my house. So, but somebody that we've not really seen at shows or never, but just a fantastic collector who's always been very kind to me, and he cares about the community a great deal. And so there you go. That's all I can tell you about it. But Alberto, you can't get Sidar off of your mind, man. Castro, it's getting too late, man. I've been burning the candle at both ends this entire week. But anyway, what else we got here? So I got a couple videos to play. I'll probably just because it's a little bit longer, and I could actually I wasn't able to run out and get my extra can of Zevia. I'll probably play the longer one first. Colin Solon went to the MAD exhibit. And where is the MAD exhibit? The MAD exhibit is in Stockbridge. It's in Massachusetts at the Norman Rockwell Museum. It is there through, I think, oh, wait a minute, did I write it down? I think I wrote it down. Yeah, it's there through the end of October 27th, Stockbridge, Mass. I did write it down. So it's pretty cool. I mean, they literally have at least, I think, a couple dozen artists represented there. It's seems pretty spectacular. Well over 100 pieces of art from Mad Magazine, and I mean, shoot, Okay, CW says it was a great show. Everything I've heard, there's artist friends of mine that kind of cross over into Infected by Art that live in that area. Donato went there, for instance, said it was an amazing show. He went there like one of the days it first opened. So like a month ago, it popped up on Facebook. He's like, everybody has to go see this show. So artists are raving about it. Colin told me it was fantastic. And again, he sent me a whole bunch of photographs. They're not all square. Colin, you got to square up those photographs a little better, but they're fine. They're a great representation of what of what the show is kind of about. So anyway, you guys, testing. That's all I need. I don't need to be tested anymore. Bad dress code. My goodness, man. I'm gonna wear this more often. Anyway, all right, let me pull up this video here because it's actually a little bit too large. I couldn't upload it into the stream, so I've got to play it in that funky way that never seems to work perfect. But let's see here. Colin, where is that video? I might not be able to find it. Shoot, I moved it around a couple times because it was oversized. Well, maybe I will play the Mignola one first then. I don't know. Shoot, well, that stinks. It's not in there. Man, I might have to miss this one. I had this stuff for Colin last week, and I couldn't play it because we ran too long. Let's see. No. All right. Well, okay. I don't have Colin's video. All right. I'm not going to play the wrong video, Alberto. It's not in there. The problem was I tried to actually make it smaller in size because it was too big. And when I tried to make it smaller, it actually erased the version I had, and I gave up on it. So, oh well. Colin, you're just going to have to wait another week, my friend. I'm sorry. So, all right. So here is the Mignola stuff. All right. Now, I think the show officially opened today. The 19th was what's posted on the gallery, on the Philip LeBon website. It's clearly today is the gallery opening, but I know that Albert and who else was in there? Anthony and Sharon were obviously there. There were a few other collectors that were there on Tuesday. So Anthony sent me some video clips and some photos. It's really, really kind of short. It's only a couple minutes long. Oh man, you guys. At any rate, here, this is a very brief sort of walkthrough filmed by Anthony. Doggone it, he filmed them all vertical. It's like the guy who should know to film these things horizontal. He shot all his stills and his video vertically. But here you go. It's only a minute. I can't even run out and get a ZV in a minute.
I was offered it for more than the garage, if I can actually accidentally get like a dry brush on, then I'm really happy.
Watercolor, offering, I'll put you all the watercolor have been framed, and you can see them right there in the small room or right there. This is it. Color. Doggies.
There's Sharon in the back room with a special view of these pieces. Look at that. I want to buy this one for Sharon. Yeah, you want that one?
It's beautiful.
There you have it. Very short and sweet. I think Anthony had more material, but he was en route to Baltimore and he couldn't post all the files for me. But for those of you who are curious about the exhibit, I just posted the link into the chat. So you're more than welcome to pop over there and check it out. They've got lots of art for sale, like we were talking about on the previous show. Typically gallery exhibits will really just have the main 30 to 40 pieces. There's literally a couple hundred pieces available, and many already sold. So some pretty interesting published pieces that we've not seen before. And then there were watercolor pieces done explicitly for this exhibit that I think are freaking awesome to see. I think Anthony picked up a mummy or something like that. But either way, there's some cool stuff there. But it's awesome. When I remember when Kazra let me know this was happening, I was kind of surprised that this was the first time that Mike Mignola has actually had an exhibit of his work. It's just it's kind of mind-boggling, because he's the kind of guy that you would think would cross over into more that he would have flowed easily into a gallery exhibit kind of format. And with as many opportunities there are out in the West Coast these days, it seems like it's odd that it took this long for him to get it. But it's awesome that he did, and I'm jealous of anybody who's going to get to see it, who's going to New York. The exhibit runs through October 26th, so you've got time. If you're going to New York Comic Con, you should definitely go to this exhibit. Let's see. Tony says they attended a Mignola meet and greet years ago and had the pleasure of buying Hellboy beer. That's too bad. Did you get to buy like the Hellboy beer label art though? That would be the thing that I would have wanted to walk away with. So Marcus says he can change his mind about selling his art. Well, it's his art. He can do whatever he wants with it. But hey, I remember, I went back and watched like that unboxing that they did at the gallery. So I don't know, it's kind of cool. And I'd like to think that the Philip LeBon Gallery, when they first started, they tried doing a lot of comic art, really comic art focused exhibits, and I don't think they did as well for them. So they kind of got into it's still modern, but narrative art and a few, they kind of branched around a little bit. But it's cool that they're putting a focus back on comic art, narrative art, and I think that this hopefully bodes well. That at least they'll keep making sure that there's a good exhibit come New York Comic Con every year. Colin says, I think that the semantics there, yeah. Oh, okay, got it. Colin, I'm sorry about your video, man. I really did make it, but it's gonna play next week. Somehow I managed to totally screw it up. Rogue beer with the Hellboy labeling. Oh, well, Rogue beer is always good. So, all right. Okay, now I'm just reading through a couple things. So, at any rate, we'll see the Norman Rockwell Mad exhibit next week. That's the thing. And I apologize. Colin put all that effort into getting me that material, and I've not delivered on him for now 2 weeks. But Colin, I did want to ask you how, we really never talked about the Wicked Con, and I was always wondering how that went. I thought I'd get some videos or some some photos, something from the show. So we should talk sometime. Colin and I email infrequently, but for as much work as he does, he's very independent, and I can completely trust him. But I've been curious about that. I was hoping that it did really well, because I know you put a lot of work into that show every single year, and with the dates changing and everything, I was curious how that all worked out for you. I hope Colin's going to be at OAX. He was there last year, but we haven't talked about that either. So yeah, maybe we need to have a team meeting, Colin. Kazra would probably like that. We should all get together sometime next week. I'm making a point of it. We're going to set up a Zoom call. All right. Okay. Where can I go from here? I've hit on everything that I really wanted to talk to. I don't even really want to look at the schedule right now, but because I didn't update it, but I might as well show it just to see if there's something in there that I've forgotten about. It was fun talk with Carl the other day. I was digging through some of OAX's photographs from last year while I was looking for some PR materials, and I came across the photograph of Carl with Dan Jurgens and that commission piece that we talked about on Tuesday. Well, so still in its pencil state, they were holding it, smiling and everything. So I forwarded that to him today, saying he probably would like to have a copy of that. So I had a good time talking with Carl, and I hope to have him back. He said he would be very happy to come back and do an OAX recap with us next time. So that was fun, and he and I have definitely not talked enough. I've got, what have I got? I got Micah on next week. I've got Newell. Newell got me his artwork today. I haven't looked at it, but yeah, anytime I can get somebody's artwork a week in advance makes me happy. Joel Jones next Saturday at 2:00. I'll tell you, I've been monitoring the package coming in. It doesn't arrive till tomorrow. I was so hoping it was going to get here today, and we were going to be able to do an unboxing of Joel Jones' 20 pieces that she sent me. But that's probably going to have to wait till next Thursday. So I'm sorry to tell everybody that, but it'll be, we've already seen some of the images. It's going to be fantastic, and getting her back on here for 2 hours should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And Jiggy and his team, I've got Royce and then Jiggy. and confirm these other shows. John McCrae actually sent me his art. My gosh, he's like a month in advance. He sent me 20 scans the other day. I mean, he's got to ship it from the UK, of course, but wow, did anybody know that John McCrae had done some Teen Titans work? I was a little shocked, but there was like a DPS in there and a few other things that were a little surprising. He did some custom pieces for the show. So the moment I have them in hand, we'll do an unboxing of that. Fred Hembeck, he's going to be back. Oming, Linsner. I'm making sure to like pre-plan ahead. I've got an illustration preview. I got, remember we had Ed McGinnis on? He's just going to do a panel at the next Comic Art Live. So that's going to be on the 16th. Sometime on that Saturday, we'll have McGinnis back on. I've never talked to Ed, so that'll be an interesting first time. He's always selling his own stuff through CAF. So, I don't know if that was kind of what was always putting him off from not having a ton of art to sell or whatever. But either way, we'll be doing a hero benefit 1-hour panel. And he'll sell some stuff to benefit them. I'm constantly checking on the USPS website. That is correct, Marcus, on the USPS website. Alberto, I showed a preview of her stuff. I think like 5 or 6 pieces last week, but I can't really show them off now. Will you be able to tell which isn't a digital layout? I don't know. You'll be able to always ask Joelle. I don't know how but we'll see. Most artists do digital layouts anymore, right? They do everything on the, well, not every one of them, of course, but a lot of them do it digitally, printed on the board, and then ink from there. So I don't know if that's how like her Lady Killer pages are done. I think there's 3 or 4 of those, so quite a few. Alberta wants a Hembeck preview. Oh, well, I can do that right now. I mean, because Hembeck sent me all this extra artwork. Didn't I tell you guys that? Yeah, he sent me, I don't know, I've got like 8 or 9 pieces over here, but I shouldn't put this stuff out. But remember that there's that other Steranko homage piece that's in here, the huge one. I could show that one off again because it's so awesome. Tariq was doing some time payments, and he finally got his not too long ago. But there you go. Take a look at this beauty. Look at the size of this thing. That thing is, I think it's 24 by 32. It's the same size as those big Brian Hitch pieces. So look at that. Now that is, I know that's a wow. I don't know if he got the better one. This one's pretty darn good, man. The other one had a big, it had Batman on it, and it had Cap in the center. But this one's got Cap on it. It's got Spidey bigger. It's got Uncle Sam on it. Look at that, Plastic Man. I don't know. It's got the Thing on it, smoking a stogie. Not too bad. And Batman's on it too. Look at that. Right. Oh, he's on this side. He's over here. Right over there. You see him. Why? Because I said Cap. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's the biggest piece of Hembeck art I still have laying around here. I do still have 4 other published pieces. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll show them. I'll save the best for last. Remember, he did those color pieces that were published in the buyer's guide. We sold 4 of them last time, and we have 4 more to sell this next time. I've got nice little Firestorm, right? So DC, we start with DC. What am I gonna do? And then we have another DC, and it's like Saturn Girl. I don't know. It's a Legion character, right? And these were printed in black and white, so that, you're seeing them in color for the first time. Then classic. Oh wait, I thought I had only 4. I have 5. Well, we might as well stick with DC then, because there's an extra one here. Nice Bane. That's pretty good. All right, now 2 Marvels. We have a classic Black Widow. She's well rendered. What do you think? Can't keep. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but last but not least, come on, Captain America. What are you gonna do? I saved this one for this sale with him. I forget the 5 that we sold in the first one, but they were all pretty good too. I think we sold 3 Marvels and 2 DC pieces in that one. So there you have it. We have 5 more of those to sell too. See, target acquired, says Marcus. Yep. But I think that was all the Hembeck stuff that I held back. So yeah, that's it. He'll probably send me a few extra color pieces, and he always does those 9x12 multi-character pieces. Number one Marvel fan wants it. Yeah, it's clammy. Clammy, says Tariq. You only have 4 for the Hembeck show. Let's talk about the 5th. No, I was going to sell all 5 of those. Will be in the next sale. I promise. Number one Marvel fan says they're going to get one of them. Yeah, I wish I could show more. I'm sure there's stuff in there that I haven't shown everybody, but I don't know. It's that toolbox, the toolbox of tons of art that will be slowly making its way out to CAF and live streams near you. Thanks in large part to all the wonderful things we've been doing on Comic Art Fans, of course. None of this would be possible without CAF. So anyways, where are we going to go from here, everybody? I've got no, he's not here yet. Adam Fish is not here, but I could probably I might as well just do my heritage picks for the week, get those out of the way. We're only 36 minutes into the show. Well, I'm going to be done before 11 tonight. It'll give me enough time to go back to work before I go to bed. Oh, a cable. That's right, Goo. The cable one was awesome. Who got the cable? That Hembeck is amazing. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, they all are. Hembeck's been doing, he's just been doing great stuff when we do the art sales with him. He puts a little extra effort into it. He and I were actually emailing. We emailed a couple times this week already. Actually, he's already thinking about his next show and what he's going to do for it. So he's awesome. Calf House rocks. That's right, number one Marvel fan. Where would we be without Comic Art Fans? There would be no Comic Art Live. There'd be no OAX. You got it. And speaking of all that, wasn't Monday night fun? I hope everybody enjoyed that. I mean, that was a kind of a surprise for Kazra and I. We were really just happy that Andy had some free time and we could have him on the show. That was great. And it was funny, even when we were getting it started, because Kazra was so much a part of like the lead up to that Jason, and this might touch you a little bit, Kazra. Jason said, "Isn't Kazra going to join us?" I said no. He'd rather be heard and not seen. So yeah, but it was a good time hanging out with Andy. I'd never talked to him before, and we didn't sell a ton of artwork, but it was pretty cool. I mean, totally was worth it to have him on there and tell that Steve Ditko story of him getting chewed out by Steve Ditko at the age of 18. Just for that alone, I want to have him back. And I think, if we can get him on for just a 2-hour interview, we don't have to do an art sale with him. I'd like to just get some stories out of him. So yeah, more of that. The show with Andy was fun. Thank you, Stingray. I thought it was too. What do we got there? Kazra would rather be read than seen. That's true. It is so true. But I was touched for him. So anyway, what do we got here? All right, heritage picks. Let's just do that. Let's keep things rolling, because I know by the time I told Adam Fish to be in the green room by 10, so we got 20 minutes to fill before he gets here. And again, I've never met Adam before. I actually think I met him. I think I said hi to him at a gosh, where was it? It was like Heroes a year and a half ago. Just so you know, Andy had always told me that he wanted to come on and do picks, and Chris has a really important. He has a very early flight tomorrow. I think it's a flight, or maybe he's driving somewhere. Either way, he asked if he could have off, and I said, all right, I'm going to ask Andy. I'll get him. I'd been talking with Andy about OAX and everything, so I emailed Andy, and of course, Andy's at Baltimore. So Andy said, well, I don't have time to do it, but my son, he's at Baltimore. He's got a calf gallery. He's doing his own comics, and he'd enjoy it. And I'm like, oh, okay, hey, it'll be it will make tonight unique. So I told him, cool, let's do it. And so I've just been emailing a little bit with Adam, but at any rate, we're all going to get to meet him when he comes on at 10. So I'm missing the chat. Did I convince Andy to come to OAX yet? Alberta, we'll ask for, yeah. Kazra's got that right. Yeah, 2026 is more likely, I would say. Yeah, 2025 is we're kind of bursting at the seams right now, but all in good ways. We still got things to iron out and lots of things to announce. But yeah, 2026 is a more likely year for him. Team Oreo is no more. Anyway, all right, heritage picks. Let me share this screen here, and then I can do my EXP video because I do have that loaded in here. Let's see, share the screen. Got that, got that. Come on, use. There it goes. All right. So we were making Gil Kane jokes earlier, but I picked a Gil Kane piece from the set. I think there were actually 2 Gil Kane pieces. I wonder what will happen if I. How's that circle layout going? You like that? Does everybody like the circle layout? I didn't. I learned today I can mess around with the format on this thing. And watch this. I can actually mess around with the format. I think while it's live. Let's see what happens if I do this. Oh, there it goes. Wow. It's like I'm there in real time. At any rate, so Gil Kane, Mark Farmer, this was in 98. So I think 98. I think, and Gil passed, I think, what, 2000, 2001. So one of his later pieces, Farmer inks on it. It's fantastic. This is a piece that should be in Nick Barucci's calf gallery, right? And you don't even really get a good, well, you do get a Gil Kane nose right in that first image of Green Lantern. So looks like a LinkedIn. It does, doesn't it? Oh my God, I'm like on Facebook, but talking. Yeah, here's my Gil Kane nose. Anyway, yeah, it took me 4 years to figure this out, Marcus. Actually, I don't think they had editing of formats for until about a year ago. But either way, it's cool, right? It kind of works. It's better than those little rectangles in the corner when we're doing this stuff. So anyway, there you go. First pick is a Gil Kane Green Lantern piece. Then Bermejo. I can't pass up a good Bermejo when I see one. I mean, I'd rather it be a published piece, but I think, I don't know when. Oh, it's undated. This is like something he could have done at Como or, because he doesn't really work traditionally anymore. But I've seen when he's at Como and a few other shows that these are the kind of pieces that you'll get from him. So it's always good to see him, especially since they're so rare these days. And it's a nice Batman. So there you have that one. Now, what do I got for my next piece? Oh, this one was just freaky. I don't think it has any Daredevil on it. It's from Daredevil Annual number 9. It says the zombie double page spread. I mean, what? I have no idea. I didn't read this issue, but this is Scott McDaniel, Bud LaRosa inks. And I just thought the whole layout was pretty crazy. It's an end page, clearly. I think this issue was a couple different stories in it. So this might have been like the first story ending, and then it would transition into another one. But I think the panel layout's crazy. I love it. It's really, I mean, even now, I didn't read it. I probably should have. Then it might make a little bit more sense. But this is like the living zombie, which is a real thing. He's a character in Marvel. This looks like, I look like Family Circus. Thank you, Mikhail. Now you're making me, I know I'm going to have to change this format to something else. Square, maybe go back to, I'll figure something out, but not right now. Let me look at the other pieces here. This is like up, if you like Kent Williams, I was a little, you don't see a lot of Kent Williams art on the market too often. There's actually at least another piece by Kent Williams in the weekly auction for Heritage. This is from Wolverine Killing issue 1. And, it's over 30 years old. It's a fantastic piece. I've always wanted to get a piece by Kent Williams. I might throw a thrill bid on this one just for the fun of it. But this is the zombie from the 70s. I think that's what it was, Stingray. At any rate, Kent Williams, I think it's awesome. And I might throw a bid on it. I probably should. Maybe I'll do it after we're done here. Then this one just made me laugh. I've always wanted to get a Wally Wood sketch of some kind, right? And I didn't see it at first, but the woman has 3 arms. I don't know what Wally was thinking while he was working on this one. Maybe he was going to erase one of her left arms. I have no idea, but I actually put this as one that I may put a bid on this one too. I think this is it's just fun. I mean, what was he thinking? I even read the description. I'm thinking, all right, Heritage is going to write a description that tells us why this woman has 3 arms. No, he did not. No one at Heritage knows why there are 3 arms on this lady. So it's great. It's pencils, and I'd be happy to own it. And speaking of odd pieces, I really went with some odd stuff this time around, everybody. This next one is a Jack Davis piece. Never owned anything by Jack Davis, but I think everybody probably has seen or knows that he did like a fair number of these Valentine cards that, these predate me a little bit, but when I was still in elementary school in the early 70s, we still had these little tacky, one card Valentines that you could give out when you actually did that kind of stuff in school. And this one is funny as hell. Hairy and ugly. It's card 31. Who are you going to give that one to? The little girl with the braids. I don't know, but I saw that one. This is the one you probably give to your teacher, right? At any rate, I think it's awesome. I don't care how big this piece of art is. It's not signed by Jack, but clearly it definitely looks like Jack's work. I think it's awesome. And of course, Tom, you remember these days? Yeah, the good days with these. Why not 3 arms, Marcus? Yeah, you're right. I can't argue with you there. Anyway, this is an awesome one. It's only $25. It's not going to be an expensive Davis piece, but again, I think this is going to be one I'll throw a bid on. Then there was a Star Wars piece by Gibbons, and I don't think I didn't know he did any work. It was Dark Horse 1999. I thought this is a really great page. You get a lot of Darth Vader, you get some stormtroopers. Panel layout's fantastic on it. I love that last panel. I mean, this is a solid, really, really nice page. And it's, if you want to get a starter Dave Gibbons page, it's not going to be a Watchmen page. So why not go with a page like this? I think it's a good one. I remember those days, #1 Marvel fan. Me too. Another one. This is another off the wall one. Mark Badger. Have we ever said Mark Badger's name on the channel before? I don't think we have. This is from Gargoyle issue 4. 1985, almost 40 years old, and I thought that Badger, he's the guy whose artwork, I bet you if we looked on CAF, I'd be hard pressed to think there's more than like 250 pieces of his on CAF. There just isn't a lot of his work out there, and I always thought he had a cool style for that era. I mean, the 80s are kind of my sweet spot, so I think that he's kind of one of those overlooked guys. But I think this is a great page, and if it was a Marvel, well, it is Marvel, isn't it? It's Gargoyle. So shoot, I can't put a bid on this because it's Marvel. All right. Oh, Jeff Wedding, our guy who knows everything about Star Wars, says he did one Vader series. Okay, cool. Well, you would know, Jeff. All right, what do we got? 2 more pieces here, and this is a Kaluta. I think there were a couple Kalutas in the weekly auction. This one is a movie adaptation from The Shadow. So again, this one's 30 years old. I like this one. Well, anything that Kaluta is going to do, I'm going to really like. The Shadow is a bonus. And then the page layout on this thing is fantastic. Typically when you think about movie adaptations things, you think of Williamson with Blade Runner or Star Wars. And I don't know, they're very impactful images that you get from movie adaptations typically, and I think more very characteristic from scenes, right? They're really drawing a scene, and Kaluta is really doing something very different here in the way he's approaching the panel layout and his storytelling. He's taking the movie and then really adapting it to the comic form here. I mean, there's no reason for him to have those 3 narrow panels in that last panel area in the bottom right, yet he's doing it to kind of just kind of finesse the story there, and shit, it works. It's really cool. And again, I think it's something that you wouldn't normally see when somebody's been tasked with adapting a movie to a book. Needs more Alec Baldwin. Brian E says there's only 159, Mark Badger. I knew I should have scaled it back, but I was trying to give him a little more. I wanted him to have 250 pieces on CAF, so he only had 159 pieces on CAF. That's practically criminal. I mean, I know he didn't do a lot of work, but gosh, there's got to be at least 4,000 or 5,000 pages in the wild. So that the idea that not even 200 pages exist on CAF is not fair. Marcus would rather have more Kim Basinger. All right, yeah, all right, as would probably many of us. Then last but not least, another odd one, Bill Ray, right? This is from something called Video Jack. Never heard of it at all. 1988 Marvel book. It's a 2-page story. I'll click on it, even though this thing loads slow. It's worth looking at this thing because the page layout's really, really sweet. But I love storytelling. This one's great. The first 4 panels are what got me. It's the scene from the room, but it's as he kind of walks through and interacts with the room, right? See the shadows all in the same places. The skeleton crosses 3 panels. Just wonderful, wonderful storytelling in this piece. It's kind of gory, right? They're hacking and slashing off arms and legs or something like that. I have no idea. I don't know what this is from, but Bill Ray handles it masterfully, right? The hand lettering in this second page, it's great. I mean, splice, you get the blood splatter on it. I mean, this is a really, really great page. Both of them laid out identical, 12 panel layouts on both of them. Huh. I mean, the more I'm looking at it, I'm liking it even more. I might even throw a bid on this one. What is it? It's $1. And it's Marvel, so I can do that. All right. Well, there you have it. Those are my heritage picks for the week. And I do see, Adam, I see you in the green room. I got one more thing to play, and then I'll bring you in and introduce you to everybody. So, all right, let me hide this window. Get out of that thing. See, this is the trouble of having custom windows here. Now I know how to switch back and forth between them. All right. So EXP, we're going to do our EXP preview, and then we'll dive into the CAF update. We're going to skip ahead to the picks, and I can wrap things up after we're done here, because I know Adam's got a busy night ahead of him. But EXP tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Nick Barucci. He's going to be selling some artwork. Well, okay, I don't want to say that now, but he's supposed to be selling some artwork. 7 o'clock tomorrow on his YouTube channel, his Facebook page, his Twitch stream, whatever else he's got. I know he does it on Instagram too. So let's see what he says he's going to be doing tomorrow night at 7.
Everybody, no art behind me, because unfortunately this week, with everything that's been going on the last few weeks, I'm really behind on work. So I asked Spencer to do the show for me this week. So this Friday, September 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, the original art experience will be here with original art. And it'll be hosted by Spencer Beck. He may bring a special guest on the air, which would be kind of cool if he does. So even though I won't be on the air, I'm asking everybody to please tune in. And if you can support Spencer and his creators, that would be Superfragilistic It's greatly appreciated. Make sure if you watch the show, you hit that thumbs up. You message as much as you can. And then when the show's over, you write a comment below, because it helps the algorithm. So thank you for your time. I will be back on the 27th with lots of cool art. I'm going to do some really specially priced art as a thank you guys for your patience with everything that's been going on. And please hit that thumbs up, sharing is caring, and appreciate everybody who can tune in on Friday the 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. See what I did? I reinforced that. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
All right, so he's not going to do a show tomorrow. Oh, well. So we have one more week to wait before Nick is back in full force. So that's all right. He's probably, he always goes to Baltimore. So I would assume he's going to be there. I don't know. Or maybe he's so behind in work that he isn't going to go. I don't know. Number one Marvel fan says there's going to be a lot of blue lines tomorrow. Yeah, well, that is the state of our hobby, unfortunately. John Moore. Hey, man, nice to see you. Thank you for checking out the show this evening. You should probably get back to work. It's coffee time. Oh, and look at that. My camera just decided to turn itself off in midstream. That's not a good sign. Oh, for goodness sakes. Now I've got to replug it in. All right. Man, I could put Adam on and make him do the show right now, since he's in the green room and you could actually see him, but I won't put him through that. Let me go ahead and just unplug the USB cable and plug it back in. Man, what would Ben Grimm say? What a revolting development this is. All right. Let's see. Plugging it back in. Do it again. My gosh. You'd think after 4.5 years, I'd have equipment that works consistently, right? Let's see here. Where are you at? Nope. Now it's complaining at me. Son of a gun. Let's see. Yep. Why can't I have a Macintosh for all this, right? Let's manage that. Now we need to have some Jeopardy music playing right now while it's doing this. Okay, that. Come on. Hey, there. See, I actually had to switch cameras. Oh, well. All right. Back to the bad cam. It's not as good. The angle's all messed up. My goodness. There we go. How's that? I'm a little bit blue now. That's okay. We'll make it work. Bill needs to come back with the cat mask on. No, that's all right. That's all right. No, I don't have to. No, you guys get no prizes like that when I have technical difficulties. So I don't know what happened to it. It made like a pop and it went off. At any rate, I've got Adam Fish ready and raring to go. So let me bring Adam into the show. Hey, Adam.
Bill, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I am well, I've been better. I mean, literally, I mean, my camera's out, but
it was like a Twilight Zone entering a new dimension with the new camera angle. So.
Exactly. Well, we did meet, right? Wasn't it at like Heroes?
Yeah,
we year before, like your dad introduced us.
Yeah, we came down to OAX last year. My brother Joe and I.
Oh, that's right. That's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Bill, we see each other. I feel like it shows throughout the. Like we're in Baltimore right now. Excuse the background. It's a kind of junky Homewood Suites, but yeah, we met a couple of times, and the OAX show is something we really love. We're looking forward to going back to just hang out next year, and should be a lot of fun.
I totally forget. I'll tell you, OAX was a blur. I don't remember talking to half the people that I saw down there, so I apologize.
I thought it was.
I don't even remember talking to. I don't remember talking to your dad. Honestly, I mean, I saw a lot of pictures of him after the show, but I don't think I really ever got to say hi to him or stop by their table.
Putting these together just has to be a lot. So props to you for just pulling it off.
Thank you. Everybody's got the fish jokes in here. You've heard them all, though, I imagine.
Yeah. I'm the youngest of all my brothers, so I've always gotten Guppy. That was like the most
Guppy.
often. But it's funny. Read the chat. I can't. Oh, I now I see the chat. The chat is coming through on my end now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say on the right-hand side of the screen, there's two buttons: comments or private chat. If you click it on the comments, then you'll see everything, all the pleasantries.
Yes, there we go. This makes the show. Yeah, it makes so much more sense now. All right. Yep. Here we go.
All right.
That's fun.
Yeah. We got like 80 people watching us right now, so don't get nervous.
But yeah, no anxiety.
Roll with it.
So yeah,
don't read the chat.
I'll introduce myself just really quick. I'm the son of
please do.
So they're both comic artists. I'm sure you guys are familiar with them. My dad's done a handful of these as well with Bill, and my brother and I launched our comic business earlier this year, Robo Picto Comics. We used to work for Ted Van Loo over at Super World Comics, and then Ted sort of slowed down his operation, and Joe and I launched our own thing earlier this year. So it's been good, and so yeah, we're collectors ourselves, and I picked 10 pages this week that hit the site that I really dug. So
I was at first Andy came back, he's like, nope, can't do it, you have to find somebody else. And then he emailed me like 5 minutes later, Adam says he'll do it. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, that sounds fine.
That guy works like a dog. Yeah, I mean, it was just nice that the time worked out perfect. We got down to Baltimore this morning, so I'm glad that we were able to set this up, and hotel Wi-Fi hopefully holds out.
Exactly. No, it's not too bad. Well, it's going to hold out better than my camera, clearly. but so you know what we're going to do. You got your 10 picks. We're both going to talk about those. Then we'll talk about the 10 I got, and then you can go out and enjoy an evening in Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. So.
Hey, you've been there before though, so you
know. I know the streets to avoid. So.
Right, which are many, as I recall, right around here. You can only go like 3 blocks in most directions there.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in our hotel at this show specifically, but so yeah, this FF 59 page. It is wild that the whoever owned it didn't list the credits, but just amazing Kirby work here. I love that Doom panel in the top right. Just that angle in which you're looking at his face is just, I think it's fantastic. Kirby is, the best to ever do it.
No, that's true. When I saw this, the funny thing was there was a lot of great art that was posted to CAF last week. This was one of my favorites, but definitely, had you not picked it, I would have too. I mean, it's classic Doom, and it was kind of odd the way the owner, like you said, left all the credits off, didn't say the issue number. It was, usually we take a lot more care when we list things on CAF. So Philippe, let's see, how long have they been on CAF? They've been on CAF for 19 years. So Philip knows the etiquette. He go back in there and edit this thing a little bit, because this thing's, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, this would be like the cornerstone of many people's collection if they had this thing.
Alternatively, I feel like his thought could be, hey, it's a Kirby page. You should just know it's a Kirby page. But a lot of curiosity. Who's your favorite Kirby inker?
For me,
Yeah.
gosh. Honestly, probably. I mean, that's probably sacrilegious to say it's like Synod or something like that. But I love as much as people hate Coletta. I love. I mean, because I'm a Thor fan. I love his Coletta's inks on Kirby on Thor. Other books, not so much. But I feel like Coletta actually took a lot of care in those books for some reason. Whatever he maybe he liked Thor too, so he put a little bit more time in them. But yeah, those would probably be my top two. When I think about, I mean, but a lot of people like to pick Royer because he stuck to his pencils more. It's later in his career, of course. So I don't really, I don't like associate the books that I read of Kirby's with Royer's period. So I don't know. What about you?
It's interesting. I like Dick Ayers a lot. I
Yeah.
really like Dick Ayers' Golden Age work. And just I think him on Kirby. I know it's not Guy's favorite. Just for some reason, it's always Ayers just has that like tapered line that I really love, and I think he inks Kirby really well. But no in-depth analysis beyond that.
Yes. Exactly. Everybody liked this page. It doesn't have a lot of well, how many comments? Only had 9 comments on it, everybody. How long has this thing been on the site? It's long enough that there should be more than 9 comments on it. So get out there and comment on this piece, please, everyone. Yeah, that's all. That's criminal that it only has 9 comments in it. All right, so here's somebody who's been on the site for only a month, Mr. Jose, and but a great Eisner page here. DC piece, Marcus, just so you know.
Yeah, so Eisner is, I mean, he's one of my dad's favorites. So in turn, I remember reading The Dreamer really young, and his layouts. I mean, I think Eisner is the goat of comic artists. And I love the dialogue in this. I love the dialogue in the last panel talking about he's going to give him his dignity. Like he's still going to have that, and I think there's something just kind of wholesome about the wash inks in the back and that dialogue. I think it's just a beautiful page.
Hey, checking in on you. Says you're doing well.
Andy Fish, what's going on, man?
And I have to mention, I see Arno is in the chat. Arno says Philip is the bigger or biggest probably Kirby collector in France. So thank you, Arno. Arno works for Heritage, and Arno, I think we're due a international preview coming up sometime soon. I actually put a date to it. If you can actually stay up a little bit later in October, I'll run some dates by you in a week or so. So no, it's a good choice. We don't talk about Eisner enough on the show for whatever reason. I mean, there's just so much art to talk about. He kind of gets overlooked a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, you see a page like this, the storytelling is impeccable. The guy doesn't need hard ruled panels to tell his story. It's like a painting when you look at a lot of his pieces, and this is wonderful. I mean, it really is beautiful.
Yeah, so experimental. He's just, I don't know. I'm sad I never met him, but if my father speaks highly of him, and I'm grateful that he was able to meet him.
All right, what do we got next here? The next one is we've been talking about this collector named Phoenix's Galactic Gallery. They only post, they're just kind of hitting the site in the last couple of weeks, and everything they post is fantastic, as is this one.
Yeah, so this was actually a Joe Fish pick, Frank Bruner cover. I know he's a big Frank Bruner fan. Classic Doctor Strange from the Bronze Age. Great perspective on this one. I love the straight blacks in the back. I love that straight line. And the sky is just, I don't know. This is just very iconic.
Yeah, agreed. This was one of my favorite pieces added last week as well. I came back to it numerous times. It's just so striking, and it's I don't know. This collector has a good eye. I mean, really, that for just like a grade A top shelf pieces, and this is one of them. This needs to be in an artist edition if it's not.
Absolutely striking. Yeah, I agree.
All right, what was the next one? Let's see. Owner is Steve Crow. Everybody knows Steve Crow. Now this is Bill Wogan, or Wogan. I don't think that's another name we never talk about. Katie Keene from 1960.
So this is wild because I feel like it doesn't feel like like an Archie page.
Yep.
I love again, back to the top right panel, like in that FF page. I love the perspective there. And then just neat Halloween themed page for fall. Anything with skeletons, I'm sold. And like the more stylized they get, I love them even more.
Yeah, this is great. There was a running joke on this one, I can tell, because Kazra's name is on here as an assistant. He's CEO, so I don't know what Kazra had to do with this piece, but either way, no, this is awesome. There definitely is not a lot of art by Bill on the website, so just to have an example like this it's really cool. And it's funny, you look at the imagery and all, I keep thinking Scooby-Doo while I'm looking at it, but just
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
but it is really well done, man. Yeah, I like this page a lot. Steve has a good eye. He definitely has one of my begrudgingly, he's one of my favorite collectors on CAF.
Wait, really?
He collects a lot of a lot of Russ Heath, and I really like Russ. I own nothing by him, but he's one of my favorite like war story artists. And Steve probably has, I bet you he has got like 30 pages by Russ Heath in his CAF gallery, and they're all great.
Bill, we got a Russ Heath coming up. You can't take my talking points. I only have so many of them.
Uh-oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. So what do we got here? We got a piece by Grant Riddle, and it's a Mannix piece.
So this really reminds me of like a retro carnival game. Like, why not try your luck against the Wolverine? And again, back to just, I really love wholesome work, and this is just so like, I don't know how you don't love Mannix. Just Mannix is so talented. He's such a nice dude. And I've never seen a piece of his that I just don't absolutely love.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter what he's doing. He could be recreating a cover, or a famous panel, or just doing his own thing. We were looking at a Frankenstein that somebody had him do at OAX, right? And they didn't really give him any direction. And instead of going the garish, colorful palette, he kind of went to this muted gray tones, but made Frankenstein in color, and it worked. It was just amazing. But it gave it that 19, like as if it was a famous monsters kind of feel, right? You're watching a black and white movie, and it just shows you how thoughtful Mannix is about every aspect of his art, right down to the color. And you already knew he was a great colorist, but the idea that he thinks Frankenstein and he thinks black and white, I mean, if I was asking him to do something, I would never think he'd go that route. But this guy who collects famous monster images, he saw it and he was like, "Oh my God, I love this. It's exactly what he would have wanted." So
that is amazing.
Why not try your luck with Mannix? Says Rick Wells. Yes, indeed. No, Mannix can do no wrong. We all love his stuff. All right, where are we going here? This is in Neon Dragons CAF Gallery. Let me get a like on that one. A House of Mystery werewolf transformation page. Oh man, that's awesome.
Bronze Age werewolves. Nothing more to it. I traditionally don't really like sort of loose pencils, loose inks, but for some reason this is just, that bottom panel is so striking. Like the transition from man to werewolf is crazy, and just, I don't know, to be able to illustrate that is, I don't know. It's something I can never tackle.
Well, I'll never say never. It's pages like this that always make me happy to see like backgrounds rendered as much as they are, because a lot of times with character stuff like this, you don't need to worry about like drawing the doorway or the bricks or this whole set, this scene in a kitchen, right? You can get away with drawing less because you really want to focus on the characters. I love when the artist just kind of goes to town and really fills everything in with what you'd see if you were in the scene with them. And and that's kind of indicative of this era of artwork, but it just adds so much to this piece.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's this thing is just really cool. Again, this might have been a Joe Fish pick.
Man. All right, another good one. Okay, Colin L. See, and there was another one. Now who's Kafka? Is this Colin L, 16-year member? We all know, you know who the artist is, but it's just weird. That we've had a couple pieces this week where they don't list the artist, which is just like the most common thing you'd want to do. But tell me why you love this piece.
So Tim said, I really love Tim Sale's work. I think Tim Sale Wash and War is just, I don't know. I think that's a good mix. I love what's going on with the guy in the Jeep, with the guy in the turret on the Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Cap taking him out like that. Just Cap's legs doing, pulling that up. Yeah, Cap's body composition, the motorcycle in the background. I think just it's so chaotic and it works so well. I really love Tim Sale's work. I think with more modern artists, it's just trying to. I really like stylized work, and Darwin Cook did it. Tim Sale did it. I think there's a handful of artists that I really appreciate, and Tim Sale's one of them.
Yeah, agreed. And this isn't like a style that you would immediately associate with Tim Sale, but you know it when you see it that it's Tim's work, right? Because we're so used to his Batman or his Daredevil work, things that Spider-Man, right? Just very crisp, but yeah, there's something very appealing about this. When I saw this too, I was like, this is nice to see Tim Sale taking his talent in a slightly different direction. It's almost like he's kind of going back in time a little bit to draw it as if it was done in the 40s, right? And it fits the scene.
And I think for like personal preference for me is I prefer like more stylized work over realistic work, just because like it's a reminder that I'm reading comics,
Mm-hmm.
Like, not watching a movie. It's not necessarily real life, but it's always been my outlook for my entirety. But just wonderful work here.
Agreed. Let's see. You got 3 more pieces for us. This one, yeah. Okay, this is the Russ Heath. Sorry. And this is in Sean Clancy's calf gallery. Sean, just so you know, Sean is a collector of. He gets a lot of cover recreations, and so this kind of fits right into his theme. He's been doing it for 20+ years.
Bill, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, at first I didn't realize it was Russ Heath. So I saw the image when I was setting it up, and I didn't read who the artist was. I've seen Russ Heath recreations before, but this one's kind of special. I mean, it almost, it's like the lettering on it is so well done. You'd almost think that he copied it, right? I mean, but it's not. I mean, I just think that just looking at it, I want to see the original, right? He has an original here that he did it from. Okay, here's the published piece.
And I believe the published it's an original Russ Heath.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Huh. See, now I wish I would have looked at that a bit more, but no, I mean, I think it's amazing. You can clearly see how his style matured from when he did it originally. But yeah, no, I dig it.
Yeah, Bill, that is the exact thought I had. Is like, it is wild to see that done X amount of years later, and like what did he lose? What did he gain? And I think it would be cool to see like Kirby work, like recreate a book, let's say in his later life, seeing what that looked like. And I feel like just with every artist, it would be a neat experiment. And Russ Heath's no different. Definitely one of my favorite guys of the Atlas Golden Age. You mentioned his war stuff earlier. I really like the war stuff, and I think it's the war and horror that really carried Russ Heath. And I'm a big fan.
Definitely. Now I'm kind of jealous that Sean's got this.
This thing is just so cool. Absolutely neat.
So, Marcus says he didn't have a deadline with this one, so maybe he was able to put more time. Certainly, that could be the difference, right?
Yeah.
You got to get the one done in a day, and this one you could take a whole month on or something. But yeah. So it might not just be the age difference or whatever, but either way, it's
Was there a size listing on this one on the?
I don't know.
In the details?
No, it's not with the original either. So
curious how big it is.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely. I don't think it's 11 by 17. So my guess would be it's probably around like 10 by 14, 10 by 15. But either way, that'd be something I'd love to. Like I say, I love Russ Heath's work. I'd love to see this thing in person.
Yeah.
Okay, now Roger Ash. This is a fun and recent, right? It's done in August by Stan, so pretty recent piece from him.
Usagi Yojimbo. I read it a lot as a kid. Lone Wolf and Cub. That was one of my favorite series, and just Stan Sakai is such a nice dude. I really love his work, and mixing this with Zilla is just, I don't know. The lettering is great. Just a very simple sketch by Stan, but nonetheless, just more amazing work from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Marcus mentions the 4C live stream. Yeah, Ken's done a lot of good work bringing creators on and giving people the opportunity to get sketches like this from them. I used to watch Ken's stuff a lot, and I just haven't really had the time. Feels like in the last year, but he's always, the thing is, it's always cool when people are able to facilitate getting art in collectors' hands and creating unique opportunities. And live streams are like the thing so many of us use today. And Ken from 4C has done that really well, probably better than anybody else that I know of out there. So yeah, this is a good one. And James says it was done in like 15 minutes, probably live during the stream. Okay, now, and this is another one. So Phoenix got 2 this week. He probably could have gotten 10, but this is the second one we've got. And how could you skip an early Ditko piece, right?
You know, I was talking to my dad about this one. There's Spidey artists, then there's Ditko, and the OG Spider-Man's it's absolutely unmatched. I like, there's not much going on in these. I mean, there's a decent amount of dialogue, but I feel like very plain backgrounds. But nevertheless, I'd say Ditko at his finest, but I feel like Ditko's always at his finest. Even in his later life, I just like Mr. A. I really loved the Mr. A stuff, and I know he kind of lost his mind. I admire that. I admire the guy in so many ways, and like, you know, philosophically, I really appreciate Ditko, and just him sort of losing his mind is interesting. But back to the Spidey page. Just, you know, Spidey's Ditko, I think, is the, you know, I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but he is the best to ever do it.
Well, he knew what he wanted out of the character, that's for sure. You know, and yeah, I mean, maybe the action isn't like what we're used to seeing today, but I mean, he was drawn. This is dynamic for the period.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And again, Ditko Spidey is always going to be highly coveted. You know, it doesn't matter if it's later in the run, like this one. This was issue 29, I think, or, you know, or earlier. Is it? Yeah. So either way, I mean, yeah, no, it's a really nice page. I think this one, I hope this one got a lot of comments on it when it got posted. Let's see. 16. It could still have more than that, everybody. But no, yeah, I get it. You did well, man, for your first time.
I was anxious, Bill. I appreciate that.
Well, no, it's easy, man. And it's good. I'm glad you were able to do it. Now let me run through my 10, and you can tell me if I did right or wrong on mine. Well, you know what? I did focus a bit too much on X-Men. I have to tell you. I don't know why, but as I was going through stuff, it seemed like the mutant characters had really good pages this week, or stuff that hit the nostalgia button for me. Like this first piece. This is pretty sure this was James Calf Gallery, right? Yeah, James, from Brent Anderson and Claremont, X-Men God Loves, Man Kills. I almost picked there was also a cover prelim to that book that was posted by Miggs, that another collector on Calf, that I really thought was pretty cool, because we don't almost never pick prelims. But when I was comparing the two together, I was like, all right, the cover prelim's cool, but this page is cooler. I mean, as a collector, if you're an X-Men fan, getting them in the Danger Room doing stuff, just for that alone, the content alone makes this page just priceless, because there's just not enough Danger Room artwork out there, and everyone wants one. But this is, for me, this is like one of my favorite Brent Anderson drawn stories. The story was great. His art was just perfect for it. You could tell how much he cared. It was a new format, really, for Marvel at the time, with the I forget what the larger formatted books, and it made an impact on all of us young readers buying these things at our local comic book shops, right? I mean, I still look back. This book and like Starjammers were like my two favorite books for my first 5 years of going to comic shops, as far as large format things go. So I remember this book fondly, and it was really because of Brent Anderson's artwork.
It's got to be cool to like have that memory just instilled in your brain like that. It was like so dynamic for you that like even now it's just you recollect it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, nostalgia plays a big factor in us as collectors, but yeah, but you got to have like all the right components, the right writer, the right artist, and yeah, this was it was perfect synergy between artist and writer and story and all that good stuff. Then I had to pick this one. I mean, everybody wanted to talk about this one. I felt like they were talking about it on Facebook. I had 46 comments on it when I loaded this page earlier today. Paul Smith art there isn't enough of his X-Men artwork out there. I mean, hell, in any series that Paul Smith worked on, there isn't enough of his artwork in there. Whether it's, you think about Doctor Strange, where I think he was amazing in that too. But the X-Men stuff, there just isn't a lot. And as a seeing a cover, one that hasn't come to market before, and somebody getting really lucky being able to pick it up from direct from Paul is just pretty unbelievable. These are stories you just never hear, or you think will ever be able to happen in your collecting career, as someone in the hobby. And so Paul, who picked this up, I mean, if I was him, I'd almost say I'm done collecting. If I got this piece, I'd be like, all right, I don't know where I go from here, but I would be so thrilled. I've never owned a Paul Smith page, because people who have them, they don't want to let them go. They don't come up too often. So anyway, so I'm jealous, very jealous.
This is a neat page. The detail on the branches is just absolutely wild. I'm always, again, I mentioned it for a couple of mine, but deep blacks are just so striking. Deep blacks and fine lines are just so striking. And even just seeing the original art is just, I don't know, something just pops,
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Robert mentioned that Paul, who got this one, has posted he posted something else equally spectacular this week. So yeah, Paul's on a roll, and it's hard, and it's really hard to say when you look at a piece like this and say he posted something that was almost as good, but he did. It's just shocking. So congrats, Paul, for that. And yeah, Power Pack. Power Pack I would typically avoid, but I don't know why. I didn't read it. That's probably why. There's no nostalgia in there for me, but there's something. This cover is just really dynamic, and I don't know. I don't like the thought of I guess Sunspot. I guess that is popping her in the face like that. But either way, it's still a dramatic cover. The perspective of it. You got Spidey in a black costume coming in behind it. It doesn't look like the stats are original, which makes it look a little weird. But that doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, I just thought the layout on this cover was great. I mean, there's a sense of peril, and and just having Spidey come in there seemingly a minute too late is just makes it exciting. We don't typically get covers like this in comics anymore, right? They kind of give that, I've got to open this up because what on earth is going to happen, right? They're always the team shots, the movie poster shots anymore. This is really, it's just classic storytelling and guest stars. Thank you, Marcus. I don't know, but who was the art?
I'm not at all familiar with the storyline, but like just aesthetically, it's a beautiful cover. Yeah, I absolutely see why you picked it for your top 10.
Yeah, and it's got Hilary Barta inks too, and I've always thought Barta was, I wouldn't say he's had a pretty long career. He's still out there. I mean, we've actually had him on the channel for a couple of Comic Art Live panels, but yeah, he's a very underrated finisher, and yeah, great piece here. And who's calf again? Was it Andre? Andre has one of my favorite collections on the site as well. All right, Rick W. Rick's in the chat, and if he could pop in here, and he would probably say the same things I would. Typically, I don't pick Conan artwork because I've just never been a great Conan fan. But you get Buscema pencils and Neil Adams inks, and every once in a while you might see something and you're like, oh, it's crusty bunkers. You can tell, but because a lot of times Neil would ink the faces and leave the rest to the rest of the team or something. I'd say most of this really looks like Neil, and it's just so nice. I mean, the idea of Neil Adams inking over John Buscema pencils is, I don't know. I mean, it's exciting to think about, two legendary creators, and there's no way Neil would sign this if he didn't ink most of it. Right. So because Neil didn't like signing anything for lots of different reasons. So him signing this piece tells you all you need to know about it. So I just think it's amazing.
That's a very good point. Yeah, like Neil believed in the page, so like he was willing to attach his name to it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Very, very true. But so Rick, you did well with this piece. I mean, it's definitely a keeper, and just from the historical standpoint of it. So, and Rick said that Neil inked all of it. There you go. That's what it looks like too, and you can tell. I mean, typically when Neil was only doing the faces, and you could tell, the stylistic changes in the way like their clothes might be inked or the backgrounds and stuff. So yeah, this looks all Neil. 100%. All right. So where are we going from here? I halfway through. Oh, see, I remember I was talking. We have the other guy that I usually do the show with. He loves the thing, and I brought this piece up last week, and he hadn't seen it, and I thought it was added last week, but it wasn't. It was added on like Monday, so that's why he didn't see it. I don't know. This was a published pinup, Adventures of Thing, page 19. I don't know what that story, what Adventures of the Thing is, but holy mackerel, this thing is. This is everything you'd want, right? And I did like this one, right? In a George Perez FF piece or George Perez anything piece, it's just packed with detail. But he has put so much care into the artwork. You see, Sue's putting a shield down so Ben can stand on it. Johnny's lighting Ben's cigar. Reed's flipping a switch down at the bottom of the screen, but he's sitting up on top of the machinery. It's a fun image. We don't know what the heck they're working on or why. We don't care. It's just it's unbelievable. It's for a Perez Marvel example from this era. I mean, I can't think of like something I'd want more than in my collection than an artwork like this.
So Bill, if I could just really quick to George Perez for me is for the longest time I never disliked Perez. It was just more or less like he was never my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. And then it was after he died, I really started looking at his work, and I realized that it's just so busy, and that's why I feel like I never liked it. And then I started looking at it, and I was like, wow, this guy was a master at detail. Same way that like Kirby was a master at detail with like machinery. Like Ted and I always talk about that. It's amazing that Kirby was able to lay just his imagination was able to lay out dashboards and odometers and all this, and Billy George Perez is like same like mechanical detail. Just it's something you absolutely have to appreciate.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, he just put too much effort into adding the extra details into a piece. I mean, yeah. And at any rate, I love this, and again, and it's a Fantastic Four. It's all about technology. Perez is like the perfect guy to draw anything around the Fantastic Four because of his love for detail or attention to detail. So, this pinup is it's perfect. It really is. I mean, so congrats to Jared for getting this and sharing it on the site. I'm so glad we get to see it and enjoy it with him. Where to now? Yeah. Now this is like so simple, but this was in Jason's calf. Yeah, Jason D'Ambrosio. Early Storm sketch. He said it's dated 1975 on the back. That's the same year, I think, as Giant Size #1. So, I mean, you look at Storm here, it doesn't, it's not like, it still looks like he's trying to figure her out, right? Facially, that sort of thing. And so for me, it's kind of a historical piece. And there's a lot of Dave Cockrum, like marker convention sketches and things out there. You don't see a lot of pencil only pieces by him. So for me, as a fan of Dave Cockrum, I want to see a early pencil only piece like this, where he's still figuring something out. I just think this is it's a special piece. I mean, I'd love to own it just for the historical kind of significance and my admiration for him as an artist.
Yeah, any prelim or just like concept work, I think is that alone is, where they're first putting this idea down on paper, that is, you're right. The historical significance is, can't be questioned.
Here. Well, congrats, Jason. I know you're probably pretty happy to have this one in your calf. Now, next up, I have something from George Hodges' calf gallery, King in Black. And I'm not familiar with Flaviano Armentero, but I don't have to be familiar with the artist to know that I like the work. And so there's just something really cool about this. I love the heavy line work. I feel like it gets, there's he mixes like these thicker lines with these little fine detail cracks in the skin here. The cityscape is all these fine details, and then he does these thick spider webs, splatters in the back. I just like the contrast in his approach just on this one page, and I like the storytelling too. I like the 4-panel layout, the close-ups of the eyes, the pullback. Assume that's Spider Gwen there in the top. Yep. Just looking at this, I mean, it's just a cool page, top to bottom.
Incredibly cinematic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see Brian E says he commented on this one. I'm going to leave a comment on it. I like it that much. So it's got 10 comments, and yeah, we can get a few more on there for George. So yeah, that's a really, really cool page. I can't do all Marvel, right? Yep. So here we go. I got a Todd McFarlane Detective Comics page. I don't pick Todd stuff. I usually, and I definitely try to avoid Spider-Man stuff because it's just, we all just kind of have an appreciation for it, whether we really, like it or not. And I'm not a big Spidey or McFarlane fan around. I mean, but there was just something about the layout in this page. I liked this kind of the first panel battle, and there was just something about the way this thing was laid out that it just stood out for me. I love the second to last panel for some reason. I can't tell what is he getting. He's getting gutted or something. I can't tell. But either way, I just thought this was a really nice page. And what year is this? That doesn't say. No, it does not say on the page. So semi-early-ish McFarlane, right? So cool. So I like it, and I don't pick McFarlane for the Spidey reason. So I got to pick something else. What's next? I think I'm almost done here. This was a John Romita Jr. This is like my Jason D'Ambrosio pick, because he knows I usually say I've never been a great John Romita Jr. fan. This one's got Jim Mooney inks on it. There's just something about the storytelling in this. Again, this is what is Amazing Spider-Man 227. So I don't know what year this is from, but I think that this scene with Black Cat here, it's just, there's just something about the layout. I kind of came back to this one a couple times. It was always on the cusp, right? I was like, I'm not gonna pick this one, but just this chase scene with a motorcycle and Spidey, and the way that he ends up flipping her off the back. I mean, I just really liked it. And I really like the second panel because you can tell something's wrong with Spidey, but he's still in the chase. Just the storytelling is really good on this. And Jim Mooney inks, who we don't talk a lot about Jim Mooney, but again, a guy who was in the industry for a long time. He does a great job on this page.
I feel like so much is told in so few panels. And you're absolutely that first initial panel. It feels like that should be a blacklight poster.
Yeah, it's almost like a what are the things that you where you scratch away the white, a scratch board. Like it's almost like a scratch board the way it's inked, and that even could be. I mean, we can't zoom into it because it's not a larger image, but like those little marks there could actually be him ticking away with a knife to give that effect. It's hard to say, but yeah, I mean that first panel, and then I like this page. And I highlighted Jason's comment where he said early John Romita Jr. is the best. So I'm not going to argue with you on that one, Jason, because I think this is a great page. And CJ points out that Mooney did ink a lot of Spidey artists, and that is very true.
Yeah, this one I'm gonna have to go find. I'm gonna have to look at the full size image. I'm a little curious now.
All right, well, I got one more piece. It's from Josh. Josh's wonderful calf gallery is Kelly Jones Dracula. I know Marcus is a fan of Kelly Jones. Kelly's he's always had an excellent sense of composition. He has a very fluid style. When you think back to his Batman work, I mean, I look at just the robe or whatnot that Dracula's got here, the cape, I feel that same like Batman vibe from 20 years ago. He still has that same cool technique in the way he handles, his drawing. And I think I saw this one. I was immediately really taken by it because, I don't really see the mid-tone, whatever he did in the background there. I just love the fact that it's very stark. He's got his blacks. He's working with the negative space in the cape, and it just works really well. He's not really outlining the figure in any way. He's just letting his blacks define the this mass that is the robe, cape, whatever, and it's awesome. I mean, and I think we're all excited to see more Dracula work from Kelly Jones and the stuff that he's doing with Matt Wagner right now. So this is a nice pickup, definitely.
Yeah, very, very much so. And if you've seen Kelly, this image feels slightly reminiscent of Kelly Jones himself. But
yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Maybe he sees himself as Dracula a little bit,
but self-portrait.
Oh man! But anyway, this is a good one, and I didn't even read to see if there was a story there. He did 10 illustrations as premium additions to the Dracula book 1. Oh, cool! All right. I had to pick one
Oh,
up.
hell
Well,
yeah, yeah.
that's awesome, man. All right. Well, is that going to get framed, Josh? That's the number one question. Will it go on the wall? Will there be blacks? Will there be dark blood reds? What will you do with it? Josh is a guy that loves to frame. He has like his custom framer, and they always do something really creative with the frames. So, anyway, all right, man, that was a good one. So let's see. Let me hide that. So, Adam, not too bad for your first time, man.
Bill, I appreciate you having me, man. Seriously, it means a lot. I appreciate you putting your trust in me. So.
Well, thank you, Andy, for me. I'm glad he put us in touch with one another. I'm sorry I don't remember seeing you at OAX because I feel like a total dummy.
No, don't.
But
we'll see you at the show this year. I think we're gonna come down for it. So.
Yes, the invite has been extended to them, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're still in the planning stages. We're working on the floor plan right now and pulling our hair out, but
awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be bigger, better than last year for sure.
Looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, listen, man, we'll enjoy your time in Baltimore. And
awesome, Bill.
Are you going to the auction, the Heroes auction, just to check out the work or anything? Or they usually have a presentation in that, don't they?
I'm actually not sure. I've never been to one here, but I go to the auction at Heroes Con in Charlotte. I've never I know there's an auction here.
They do one that it's a benefit for the Hero Initiative.
It's upstairs.
Yeah, I think Scott Doonbeer might have he had an end cap 2 years ago, and they had all the artwork at least pinned up so you could see it. So maybe if you don't even make it to the auction, at least you might be able to see it, because everybody goes kind of all out. Like Walt Simonson does a full 11 by 17 piece, and he pretty much only does those for that auction. And Scott Doonbeer has a lot of clout, so he tends to get people to do push a little extra. The auction usually raises $100,000 or so.
Oh, amazing. I'll try to get up there. You know what's funny? You do bring it up now. My dad and I tried to go last year, and we got right to the tail end. It was the last two pieces. We missed it by, I think, 2 hours. But
check it out if you can.
Absolutely, Bill.
Cool. All right, Adam. Well, you have a good night. Enjoy the show this weekend, man. See you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, great job, Adam. See, we welcome to have him back anytime. Bob Layton said he sent me last night's D&D drawing. Let's see here. Sorry, one of these days I should get my email on my my work computer. I don't. I have a laptop, and that's awesome. Okay, I'll get this moved over so I can show it off. Let's see. But yeah, I need to kind of have one machine to work on, because when I stream, it's near impossible to transfer files back and forth. But I will get this one over there so we can show it off, Bob. This is a good one. You'll have to let us know if this is one of the pieces that will make it to one of Joey's eBay auctions, or how that would be handled. Let's see. Come on. But either way, yes. So Adam did a great job. He's gonna have fun at Baltimore with Andy. Sorry, the file's taking a little longer to transfer than I would like. There's that. There it goes. It's almost there, Bob. There it goes. All right, now I can show it off. So anyway, see, so I'm kind of almost done. I can do a quick calf recap. It doesn't look like my son did the videos that he was supposed to do, so maybe I won't even touch on that stuff tonight, but we'll see. Give me a second here. Show this off. Man, my internet's going a little slow, everybody. I apologize. Our theme was, okay. Get it. It's like Christmas and Thanksgiving. Well, that's what that image looks like. Here we go. Well, that came out really good, Bob. See if I can zoom a little bit. There we go. Very nice. Play the ZV commercial. You're right, CJ. I need to fill the time sometimes when I'm trying to get the technology to work around here. But yeah, that came out good, Bob. Is that so? Will that make it to a eBay auction at some point? And remember, you and Joey can always hit me with an email whenever you're doing any of those charity auctions. Obviously, I'll get those in the newsletters so that everybody knows when they're going on. Any way that I can help. Still waiting for my Taiwan videos. Hey, I haven't got them yet. Gazzer and I have been very busy, Bob. That's all I can tell you. But we do need to edit your because we had the last stuff on there, but the Super Manilicon, but not the Taiwan. We will get them, and you'll have okay. You should bring some of those for OAX. Absolutely. Well, we'll be talking about getting you on the pre-con PR list. I'm going to be working on that this weekend, kind of coming up with a list of plan of attack for our pre-con for OAX. So that's on my to-do list. I think I'm going to work on it on Saturday, maybe Sunday. But yes, at any rate, so where am I at? I think I mean, does everybody want to see a CAF update, or would you all rather just like call it a night, since I've been at it for 3 hours already? But I could, there's a couple high and low points I guess I could talk about in the CAF update. Might as well. My son did not post his videos like he would have done. So I don't have any videos to show as far as what the pieces were, but I can tell you about them. But it was a slow week, outside of, and it was probably because of the Heritage Signature auction, right? But it was very reflective in the dealers. The dealers only sold about $125,000 in artwork last week, which is literally unheard of, right? We haven't seen numbers like that in 2 years. I mean, when everybody was kind of having that downturn, right when we were getting back into con seasons, early 2023, late 2022. So yeah, $128,000 in sales for comic art dealers, and Albert did half of it. He did $65,000 all by himself. So everybody else paled in comparison. Felix had 17, Anthony had 13, and Mike only had 11. So shoot, the four of them made up 85% of all sales last week. And number one sold item was a $15,000 Bill Everett Tales to Astonish page. Or actually, okay, it's a Kirby Everett. So Everett inks over Kirby. And I can't see the piece since my son didn't do the video. But at any rate, that kind of a week for the dealers. And the auction houses, if you took out the signature auction, it was a pretty down week as well. And what was it? eBay only sold about, well, let me guess, more like average. eBay sold about 180, Heritage Weekly about 175. Throwing the kids. Well, I mean, my Ashton is actually very busy working during the week now, so I can't like fault him too much for not getting my videos done. But I will yell at him tomorrow. He's been working on a separate task for us here at CAF HQ, and he's been getting that work done. So if he misses a video once or twice, I'm not going to kill him, because at least he's getting things that are relatively more important done for us. So at any rate, so there you have that. A Bernie Wrightson House of Mystery prelim sold for $22,800. I can't show it to you, but I think many people saw it. There were a lot of people talking about it, wondering why the prelim would sell for so much, but it was pretty well finished prelim, even though it was just a single figure. I don't know. It's the right era, and it was done as well. The figure was as well rendered as the published image was. And ironically, the number one piece that sold on eBay was a Steve Dillon Preacher #1 page that went for almost $10,000 at auction. So there you have that. So other than that, I don't think I have to I don't have to go over anything else. Brian, he mentions that there was a lot of art sales from Albert's website after Cassaday passed. That's true. Everybody gets that impetus to kind of see, because I used to own Cassaday pieces from Astonishing X-Men, and I let them all go. And the moment you hear of his passing, you're like, oh crap, I want to get one too, and I want to get one now, because I might not, everybody else will. And of course, I didn't pay attention, but typically a lot of times when that happens, usually the rep or the agent pulls all the artwork, so they're like going to do a pause, right, for the family, and let them kind of figure out what the process should be when something like that happens. But so I really don't know what happened on Albert's site. I didn't go to his website. I actually went to a few other sites to look around just to see. I remember, went over and looked at Berkey's site. His stuff was sold within an hour. It always happens. I mean, you can't think, when Don Perlin passed, same thing happened there. It doesn't matter the status of a creator. When we lose somebody that we respect, and we know their work isn't I don't know, isn't going to be on the market for long, you kind of get that that desire to at least see what's out there. I'm sure everything happened on eBay too, right? Everybody probably went over there to check and see what was still available. At any rate, what do we got? Number one Marvel fan Tom tells me long night of shows. Yeah, well done, thank you. And the good thing is I've got the next 3 days off, so and we're gonna need it. We have a lot of things going on right now, and you know, all the good, but it's it's a little frazzling at the moment. I can tell you that, but all for the good though. At the end of the day, we're gonna. I think when we come out of the next this weekend, if we can get through this weekend, we'll probably be feeling pretty happy. I really believe that we're kind of in that laugh a little, cry a little, and then realize, you know, we're further ahead than we ever thought we were. So it's all good. Bob says it's his birthday on Wednesday. Buy my work while you can. He turned 71. Oh my goodness, Bob. Bob, we're planning on having you around until, you know, at least till you're 91, if not further. 101. Let's go for 101. And you drawing as well then as you do today. That's what we want. So and we do need to plan to get you back on here sometime, but maybe we'll get you we'll talk about some pre-con stuff and try to figure out when we can get you on next. You know, we should have you on when we get that video ready for you. The last WTF that we've not been able to play for you. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night. Maureen's going to be shocked that it's not 11 o'clock and I'm finishing a calf update this early, but don't do a timeline. I won't. All right, I get it. Oh, you know what? Here, before I sign off, I looked at my list and I had written down package. I did actually get a package in the mail today, and it's from Anthony Snyder. You know, somebody should tell Anthony that it still says care of Bobby Barron. Bobby has not worked for Anthony for it's at least 2 years. It might be 3. Somebody needs to tell Anthony to update his return label and get Bobby Barron's name off of there. So anyway, so let's see what this is. It's probably a comic book or something. You know how Anthony is. He saw something he thought was funny. So let's see. What was this from? I think he's just playing around with me. What is he doing here? Look at that. The power of Billithor. Did he draw that beard on there? I think he did draw that beard on there. And he gave me a stack of that funny money that he tears up all the time on his memes. So I guess that gives me a reason to film some memes with some money tearing going on, I guess. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll send him this money for that Pokemon page and see what he says. That would be the thing to do with it. At any rate, there you go. Thank you, Anthony Snyder. I hope he has fun in Baltimore too. All right, I get free shipping. Everybody, yeah, he is sentimental, isn't he, Casher? All right, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me for 2 shows tonight, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And we'll be back at it next Monday. I'll have Micah on, and we'll be doing a Comic Connect preview. And I've got Newell on Tuesday. We will have a regular Dueling Dealers match between Anthony and Mike on Wednesday. And no double show next Thursday, just a regular calf update. Joel Jones next Saturday, along with Next Comic Art in the evening next Saturday. All right. Wonderful night. Winter, stay strong. And everybody else have a wonderful evening. And I'll see you again soon.